All right, that was a pleasant waste of a half an hour, and you see now why they would never have me teaching the hardware program. All right. So what I'd ask you to do was to go into FileZilla and download the client. All right. Don't need that anymore, but that's where it was. And the good news is there's like 16 steps that we have to go through to do all this stuff. And the good news is I've already done the first 14 for you. All right. So that puts us, as you would guess, up to step 15. So what I'd like you all to do, and if this doesn't work, you're going to have to tell me, and I'll work with you individually. Am I right in assuming whether whether you're running Windows 10 or whatever, you've got something down here where you can click the Windows button and you've got where you can type in stuff down here? Is that right in assuming that? If you have that, then please just type in the word FileZilla. And hopefully, at least, that will launch FileZilla. If it looks something like this, well, I just downloaded it last week and it says there's another newer version available. All right, there. So if it comes up and it looks like kind of like this, yeah, whatever, you're okay. If it doesn't look like that, you're going to have to let me know. All right? Okay. I'm not seeing any hands, so I take for granted that yours looks at least similar to this. Okay? What you're going to have to do is in this box up here that says host, you will have to put in iwt.rankin.edu. Don't hit enter when you're done. All right? iwt.rankin.edu. Now, when we get this all up, and you want to bring this up from home or show other people or whatever, that's literally the first thing that you're going to type into the address bar of the browser. That makes sense? That's what you're going to do. All right. Your username for everyone in this room, except for Drew, should be the first initial, the first letter of your first name followed by your complete last name. Drew, I did make yours a D. Okay? Does that make sense? So Ethan's would be E. Wilson, etc. So that should be, put that in. Again, don't hit enter. We're not ready yet. The password is what I just sent you. And it is case specific, case sensitive. So you have to put it in. What I did was I went out to an automatic password generator and put in 8 characters, and whatever came up, that became your password. Okay? And I got to remember mine because I've got, let's see. Hope that's right. All right. And then finally for the port, notice it says the default port for FTP is 21. So type in 21. So again, you should have iwt.rankin.edu, the first initial of the first letter in your first name and your last name. All right, your password that I gave you, the port, and then now I believe we can click Quick Connect. All right, mine says cannot connect to server. Well, that's not good. Probably I've got the wrong password, so I'll check on that in just a second. I'm hoping that you don't get that it could not connect. It might take a few seconds because this is the first time that you're doing this. All right. Ideally, what you're going to have is over here, you're going to have, this is going to be everything. You can get to anything from here, your desktop, anything you want to get to. And over here, this is going to be your space on the Rankin server. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go and in our desktop here, you're going to find that folder with your first initial last name, the one you did for the test last week. All right? Then you're going to grab that folder and drag it over to here. Okay? Yeah. It can't connect?
This is connection time out 20 seconds to activity. My next I don't know if this is the ID or.
right in, you put the right password in there. And you put in 21, or try one more time. Now, Evan has not told me, so to my knowledge, there should not be any kind of problem with having 10 of you connect at the same time. You're connecting to a server. That really and truly shouldn't matter. To my knowledge, this is exactly the same way he does it with his students. He's got 25 in there. So it shouldn't be a problem where we're deluging the thing. So I don't know what the problem is. All right? What I will do is during the break, I will get a hold of him, or try to, and let me show you what it should look like, okay? See, I'm connected now to Rankin server. This is the thing that we're going to end up building tomorrow and Wednesday in here. All right? So I can connect. I am connected iwt.rankin.edu/jscott, etc. And I can get to the About page. I can get to the Contact page. So I can do all that. That works. All right? Why you would not be able to connect is not only, it's just way beyond me. So I'm going to check this. See, I'm getting the same error that you got. Is the error that you're getting, yours is just timing out? Is that correct? Is that what it's saying?
Yeah, times out after an activity, you connect.
All right. So I will have to, like I said, get a hold of him during the break and find out what's going wrong. All right. Then let's do this.
Okay, I think I figured it out. Okay, if you guys are on the Wi-Fi, that's the guest Wi-Fi.
Oh,
That's why it's not working.
there you go.
You have to connect to the one that's
That's
the,
correct.
the
All right.
IT one.
All right. If you look over on the screen here, all right, you should have something that looks similar to this on the bottom of your screen. Way in the right-hand bottom corner. You want to find the thing that looks like this. Kind of looks like part of a rainbow. And you want to click, and you want to make sure that you're right. Thank you. You want to make sure that you're connected to Rankin IT1. All right. Did you have to put in a password, or did you just connect?
I don't know what the password was.
I don't either. That's the problem.
I can pull it up.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be it. But there's actually 2 or 3 different passwords. Yeah. All right. Did you? Yeah, that might be it. But there's a couple. There's one that's got Rankin in it. And try it. How's that?
Okay, I had the password for it. I'll try it on.
All right. Brady's taking over. He's the instructor.
Not really.
So.
Okay. It's a 0. Pretty sure that's it. I'll make sure.
Try that.
That's it.
If you don't know how to connect to the wireless, raise your hand. All right, so that's a capital P, an @ sign, a small s, a small s, a small w, a 0, a small r, a small d, a big R, an @ sign, an n, small k, small e, small n. So the P here in password and the R in rake-in is uppercase, and everything else should be lowercase. All right? Is everybody able to connect to the wireless? If you're not, raise your hand, because okay, that's fine.
Something about
Oh, just type that in right now. So type that in. Make sure it's a capital P. You can click it again, and it should show you then if you're connected. Okay. Just cancel that one again. Is that all it shows when you click? Click the T, click that one. No, put it in. It's W0RD. Now put your mouse over again and see if it says you're connected. Successful. All right. Was everybody able to connect? Anybody who couldn't connect, other than me. All right, that's okay, because if one person's going to be screwed up, I want it to be me. I don't want it to be you. All right. Then, on the left-hand side of your screen, all right, go to desktop if you're not there already. Under your desktop, find the folder that you used for the test. So Brady's was B. Williams, that's the one you want. Not any zipped one, but the actual folder. Then click on that folder and drag it over to this side right here. You don't have to put it underneath anything, just drag it over there and let go of it. Again, if you have any problems doing this, let me know. I'll have Brady help you. All right?
So you drag it over to the,
You drag it from the left to the right. That is actually adding it over.
so it doesn't matter which.
No, you don't have to. It doesn't have to be necessarily underneath in. All right. Now, to see whether or not that worked, take your FileZilla, leave it up just in case there's a problem with this. Okay. But take the screen that's got FileZilla on it and minimize that screen. Okay. Now, I take it you're either all at a browser window or you can get to a browser window right now. From that browser window, please type in iwt.rankin.edu/ and then whatever your login is. So for me, for example, it'd be JP Scott. All right, you put in yours / and then whatever you call that folder. So yours, Ethan's might be E. Wilson / E. Wilson. Yes. How do you get back to her? Okay. Oh. I mean, you can't, it's not showing up here, is it? Is that what you're saying? Correct. Well, is that it right there? Click on it. If you look up through here, can you see desktop in there or not? So just see these. Oh, it's trying to do what it thinks you want to do. That's the problem. All right, there's desktop, and under the desktop,
So you don't want JSON anymore. So
keep looking down here. You can drag over the files individually too if you want to do that. Yeah, try that.
and then wherever your file
that? Go to your browser window. iwt.rankin.edu/ your login. So you see everything. You see what it shows you. If anything. Access is denied. That's not good.
Okay. Go to the link.
No, there's no blank spot. Try putting it in that folder. You there? Did you get there? Did you get there? Everybody there? Good? Problem? Now, the good news is, what you're able to do, if you want to do this, is you can be at home, and let's say you decide you are going to create your own website at home, that it's going to be all about you, or whatever. You can put anything you want to out there now, but just remember, now, if, for example, if I wanted to see what Drew had, I could just type in iwt.rankin.edu/ and then his login / whatever. So anything that you put out there is now in the public domain. Does that make sense? Anybody can look at it. That was the reason when you did the assignment that what you were told was not to put anything personal out there. All right, that was the reason. All right, so Dominic's still connecting. Is everyone else here connected? Where's your, where is the one that you used for the assignment? It should be in your desktop, right? Desktop. Is that it? All right, just grab the folder and click on it. Don't click on it. Just hold down on it and drag it over. It says you can connect it. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, click. Right there. All right, so type all that, type in that password, put a capital P, @ signs, SSW0RD. Don't put an O in there or it won't work. The other thing, if you want to, is you can click here and it'll ask you when numbers come up, if you want to show it. That way you can actually show the password and then you know whether or not what you're typing is correct.
No, I wouldn't. That was so weird. I was looking at it, I was like, that's pretty much the
Good.
same as when I continued.
What was that?
The only thing we continued it is just keep it so that without seeing your issue,
Right.
your email should have everything set for the footer. So as long as you like the div for the thing
It
that
should have been
put that,
put that. Just can't see.
so this
See,
is,
we-
it should all be right like that.
It should be this way. It should be not.
Yeah, we're gonna have to sit down in class for an hour or whatever now.
Big P
So I can look at it.
and sign.
It's just weird.
SSW0RD, capital R, A-N, and sign, I'm sorry, and sign, and K-E-N. Says you connect, all right, come back in here, take the 21 again. It says successful, so that's good. It says it's here. All right, minimize this. Okay. iwt.rankin.edu. Slash your name, the slash, and then whatever you call, I think the folder's name Drew. You know.
It's case sensitive, so for the file name.
Is it?
Yeah. You can find mine over here.
transferred over to the 350 already.
Well, we tried. It showed it as being over there, but the way we did it wasn't the proper way to do it.
So, put that. Slide.
That wasn't it.
That was it. Okay, go to your files a little bit. Let's see what it has.
Oh, it's there as D-able. So go back where you've got Drew and change that to D-able. All lowercase it was.
Hold on, actually, I don't think it's been transferred over actually. Yeah. So here's, okay, this is the problem. Okay, so this is where all your files are. So because it's not there, so when you drag over, so is this the folder you want to drag over? Okay, so you want to take this and drag it here, then see how it transfers it over, and it'll tell you that's there. So it'll have it in there. This just tells you what's all in that folder, but this tells you that's here. So all you do now, because you're still, okay, so I think the thing, well, it's usually after you connect something, it does, so you have to reconnect it if you want. Okay, so then you want to put in Drew right there. And that should, there you go. And then all the links should.
All right. Is Dominic connected?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like everyone has connected, right? Okay. Well, the good news is the other 9 of you, you all got those 16 points on the test now. See? Because you were able to upload it. Okay. Show me what you did. You were able to connect it.
Yeah.
Okay. Double click. Stuff's there. Try removing the M first. Let's disconnect the files and reconnect the files. Let's see if that fixes it. Not saying that will work. Just I did save everyone's password, so if for some reason you lose it or whatever, I can resend you that email. We'll get it fixed. I'm not sure what it is right now. So like I said, from now on, if you want to do anything during the rest of your tenure here, all right, this is how you're going to do it as far as sending something over to the Rankin remote server, all right? So you can work on it on your own machine, get it to where everything looks fine, you're happy as heck with everything, all right? The other thing is, you know, down here, this is kind of split in two right here. These are your actual files, okay? So let's suppose that somehow you had a file in here that was called contact.html, but it was wrong. You had a mistake on it someplace, okay? Then what you can do is you can go back to where the right one is, make changes over here on your client side, and drag it back in there. Do you understand what I'm saying? And replace the one that's there. That's totally fine to do that. But what you're learning right now, what we're all learning, is how to upload something from the client, which is your machine, to the server, which is Rankin's server. All right? And in fact, just so you see this, and I'm not sure why it looks like this, but if I go out to iwt.rankin.edu, all right, Evan, I believe, must have set this up, but when you look down here, this is where a bunch of people supposedly have their portfolios. Now, when I tried to check on this and I clicked on one of these, it didn't do anything. Okay, so it didn't work, but the point is, all right, what's going to happen here eventually once this all gets sorted out is you'll all have something that looks like this out there. There will be a link, and people will be able to see your portfolio. It's not unreasonable to assume that, let's say that it's next May, and you're graduating and you're out looking for a job. It's not inconceivable that if you want to live around here, that, for example, Brady and Dominic could both apply for the same job. So a prospective employer could type in iwt.rankin.edu, and if both Brady, if this was Brady's portfolio here and this was Dominic's here, all right, that person could look at both of them. Does that make sense? But the idea is, one of the things that you're supposed to get out of this class is the ability to upload to a server. All right? And there are other packages other than FileZilla, just so you know. In fact, in the past, the one I've always used is literally called Qt FTP. All right? And one thing about this, just so you hear this, because I think it's important that you at least hear the terminology. All right? What you're used to typing in, what we're all used to typing in, is if you want to type something up into a status bar up here. So if I want to go to Rankin, I'm either going to type in what? Either rankin.edu or www.rankin.edu or maybe http:/, something like that, correct? You're all used to that stuff. If you don't put in an HTTP or you don't put in an HTTPS, and if you don't even put in a www, so if I come in here and just type in rankin.edu and hit enter, it brings up Rankin's site, all right? But even though that's what it looks like, if I copy that address and I copy it over and I look at it in Notepad, notice what actually came up. HTTP:/. All right, the reason I'm telling you that is when you're uploading things to a server, you're not using HTTP or HTTPS. You're using a different protocol that's called FTP, which is File Transfer Protocol. All right? Now, you may have done this in the past. I don't know, because I don't know your internet history. But, for example, there are certain websites that you can go out to, and you can log into them, and you don't have to give a login or a password or anything else, but you can grab files that are on that website and download them to your machine. If you do that, and it comes through here, and instead of HTTP here, it says FTP, again, you're using the File Transfer Protocol in order to be able to do that. If you don't have to log in to a site and you're able to download stuff, that's called an anonymous FTP login, because you didn't have to give your name or a password. All right? But if you're going to log into something anonymously, that means that you can download things to a server. We didn't just do that. Does it make sense to everybody? What you just did was you uploaded to a server. When you upload to a server, every server that I know of will require you to log in, which means you'll have to put in a password or log in a password, because it has to verify that it's you. All right? And I think you all get this. I really do. Just to hammer it home a little bit more, last week I was on Facebook and it said, "Are you not registered to vote?" Well, I wasn't registered to vote in Missouri because I'm a resident of Illinois. So it says, just click here. I filled out a form online. I hate filling out forms online like that, but I did it anyway. I got a letter on Saturday from St. Charles County telling me I can now vote in the November election. But I can't just walk in there and say, "Hey, it's Jeff, I'm ready to vote." They're going to ask for some identification, correct? All right, and it told me the different kinds of ID that I could get. Well, there's no way that I can show a piece of paper to a server, it doesn't make sense. So the server requires the login and the password. All right? If you're going to use an FTP server where you actually want to copy stuff to the server, you'll always, to my knowledge, will have to put in a login and a password. All right? Now, and Evan, like I said, if you're still having problems, we'll get yours. But before we take a break, what I want to do is I want to come in here. I want to see what the resolution like this is on this is going to be. I'm actually now literally afraid to bring in that other projector, even though you could see it better, because of what it did to this machine. So I don't really want to do that again. All right. Let's take a break, and after the break, I'm going to get back to that thing that we were watching last week. All right? And I'd like to try to finish that between now and the end of the day today. And then again, what we'll do for the next class, the next 2 classes probably, or 3 if we need it, is we're going to build that simple website that I showed you from scratch. And after we build that simple website from scratch, you're going to upload it, all right? And you're going to put it, using FileZilla, you're going to put it onto iwt.rankin.edu. Okay? So it's just about 9. Let's just take 15 minutes. All right? Thank you. This is Evan. My courses, there we go.
Welcome to PSD.